Hello and welcome to ILTV's Evening Update. I'm Aaron Porras here with the latest news from Israel. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu asked British Prime Minister Theresa May on Monday for the United Kingdom's support in stopping Iran's nuclear ambitions. Meeting at 10 Downing Street, the Israeli premier urged the Conservative Party leader to follow in United States President Donald Trump's footsteps by implementing new and tougher sanctions on the Islamic Republic. The American sanctions came as a result of Iran confirming last week that it had launched a ballistic missile test. In response to the sanctions, Tehran confirmed that it had performed another launch. Speaking to the press, May avoided the Iran subject, instead noting that 2017 is the centennial of the Balfour Declaration and declaring that the UK was committed to a two-state solution. Behind closed doors, the leaders were expected to speak about a range of topics, including security and technology and the impact that Brexit would have on bilateral trade. Despite the opposition to the Settlements Regulation Bill, which has spanned the political spectrum, the vote on the controversial piece of legislation was expected to go ahead tonight. Under coalition pressure, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu had wanted to defer the vote until after he had met with United States President Donald Trump next week, while both Yesh Atid's Yair Lapid and Zionist Union's Isaac Herzog have come out again denouncing the bill as illegal. Meanwhile, the Habayit HaYehudi party has threatened to quit the coalition if the bill wouldn't pass. Netanyahu, who is in London meeting with British Prime Minister Theresa May, didn't give any instructions to pull the bill from the Knesset agenda. David Bitan, his coalition chairman, said, "Whatever the circumstances, there will be a vote." Israeli security forces raided 7 East Jerusalem families' homes on Monday morning, cracking down on relatives of terrorists who were benefiting from their family members' attacks on Israelis. Police and border police officers confiscated hundreds of thousands of shekels, cars, and jewelry which Hamas had been transferring to the families of the terrorists for several years. Some of the families had been financially benefiting from the 2014 Har Nof synagogue terrorist attack, in which a police officer and 5 worshippers were killed during morning prayers, the 2002 bus bombing at the Pat Junction, which killed 19 people, as well as the 1994 kidnapping and murder of soldier Nachshon Wachsman, in which Wachsman and an Israeli commando were killed during the rescue attempt. The raids took place in Jabal Mukaber, Ras Al Amud, Atur, and the Shuafat refugee camp, and were the result of extensive intelligence and undercover work by the Shin Bet and the police. In addition, the authorities detained 14 suspects for questioning. Days after evacuating residents and activists, the Defense Ministry began demolishing the Amona outpost on Monday morning. Cranes began moving out of prefabricated homes, while any structure that could not be salvaged was slated to be demolished. The 42 families were evacuated after security forces carried out the 2014 High Court ruling that said part of the community was built on private Palestinian land. The demolition of the hilltop community, 10 kilometers northwest of the capital, is expected to be completed by the end of the week. If the settlement regulation bill fails to pass, 9 homes in the neighboring Ofra settlement will be faced with the same destiny. In a rare treat for wildlife supporters everywhere, Rihanna, a 7.5-year-old white rhino, just gave birth to her male baby calf Rami last week, weighing in at around 1,920 ounces, or roughly 55 kilograms. The newest addition to the crash of rhinos at the Ramat Gan Safari Park Zoo near Tel Aviv brings the total number at the park to 14, but over 29 white rhinos have been born to the park since the safari's establishment. The Ramat Gan Safari Zoo is now home to one of the largest groups of rhinos in Europe, which is important as white rhinos are classified as a near-threatened species. According to Elad Hershkovitz, the zookeeper at the Ramat Gan Safari Park, rhinos are under serious threat in nature, and the importance of this rhino is great. It helps conservation of rhinos worldwide. Rihanna is nursing Rami in a separate and quiet area adjacent to the rest of the rhinos at the park. That's all for now. Stay tuned on ILTV.tv for our main daily broadcast playing after this. I'm Aaron Porras and see you next time with our morning briefing from Israel at 8 a.m. Eastern Time.